Welcome everybody back to another Bullcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Fruits Basket, Season 3, Episodes 5 and 6. Crazy stuff's been happening. Let's see what happens this time. Leave a like and subscribe. Check out Patreon. Let's go. She knows about it. Wait, what? He's not gay? What the hell is this?
You know where this show is going. We're gonna clean up all the loose ends, make everyone straight, no matter how gay they clearly were.
A trip? Now he's thinking about going on trips. That's how disconnected he is. He might even already be broken. Since when is Ayame? I thought that was clearly like like he's her gay bestie type thing.
I love it. Just like
just absolutely flies.
so embarrassed.
Oh shit, what's happening?
I always forget.
I know, that's why I said that.
It's like at first it's like, oh, and then it's like,
like
okay.
A stormy sound of like ambience there. Yeah, I wonder the whole thing with Ayame, it must just, I wonder if
just leave him be.
I bet they're not gonna be shown romantic. Like I feel like it's just one of those things that that needs to happen in order for like everything to wrap up. But as far as like what the characters were and like their relationship is like outside of the plot, I think it was pretty clear like what their relationship was.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
I still haven't seen adult Momiji yet.
Yeah. I'm scared of him.
K-pop boy band fucking Momiji over here. Why? Be nice to you. He blew your back out like last week. Like, what do you mean be nice to you? What more do you want, lady?
What do you mean? Who's that? Did you get a haircut?
Heart? Oh no, it's Momiji. He's so tall.
He's like 12 feet tall.
Did they say he left? Or was this just after break, I guess? It's just after summer break.
No, there's someone new to obsess over. It's still in the backpack. I love it.
He's wearing a guy's uniform, though. Holding it there, and they just have such like a pure, wholesome relationship. I wonder what the dub's like for this. And your voice, your balls drop too. Like your voice is so much deeper. They're expensive. Classified as a luxury item.
I'm just in my house. I'm just trying to live.
Get out of my living room.
It's really not like you.
This feels like the start of a new season.
Very fresh.
でもそれわざとやってることだし、わざとなのは分かっている。した相手に意地の張り合いはやめたらどうだ。
Let's rephrase that. How about you stop romantically pursuing someone younger than you?
アキトがもっと君のように寛大でクレノ君のように無心な、そんな優しさを僕だとしても無茶な話だ。僕はあの子の父親になりたいわけじゃないんだよ。
Could have fooled me.
人数集まっちゃったけど夕飯どうしようか。バーベキューやろう。それは悪かったと思わなかった。
I think it's fine.
あれってとにかく火を燃やし、肉が焼ければいい。
Make a fire outside.
よく燃えそう。
The table.
カレーにしよう。カレーに。
ショウ君はさっきいたからと思うよ。じゃあもうね。
あ、なんでお前ら君か。
大丈夫。カレーになったから。
お前背が伸びたな。
でしょ。なって今日よりかっこよくなっちゃうかも。そしたらもしかしてトールは僕のプロポーズを受けてくれるかな。ねえ、諦めちゃうとそんなことって起きるかもしれないって分かってる。諦めるのは良くないよ。僕ももう考えても仕方ないなんてやめる。自分以外の男にトールを奪われたら悔しくないの。いけない。
Is Momiji saying that he actually likes Toru?
No,
Or is
he's
he
trying
just,
to. He
he's
knows
trying to
how.
push him?
Yeah, he's trying to get them together, and he's trying to force Kyou to make a move.
I knew that, but I thought it could be both.
No.
But it's probably not.
ユキにあれどういう。
Aho! Aho!
君だったのかもしれないな。僕みたいなやつにこそ必要な存在だったのかも。
You talking about yourself as a third person, you weirdo?
But why?
Because this is the episode where they tease Toru ending up with like a million different people just because. A banquet.
早く来てほしいのに。昔様は十二使たちに言いました。 明日、私が開く宴に招待してあげましょう。お前のことだよ、アキト。特別な子、選ばれた子、ために生まれてきた子。お前の未来に寂しさも恐れもないのは不変。それだけだ。永遠を約束さを置いて。
ハツハル、行かないでハツハル。ハツハル。
It happened.
もみじ。そっか。
Oh.
こんな終わりが来るんだ。もみじ。
Whoa.
行かないで。お願い。僕を置いて行かないで。何だったんだろう。いつも僕を見張っていた。いくつもの気持ちは何だったんだろう。僕を縛れる。
That's what I've been saying.
弱くて
True.
哀れな人に。
Now scratch her in the face.
もみじ。
Scratch her right in the face.
そんな目で僕を見るな。戻った方がいいよ。具合悪いんでしょ。心配しなくてもこのことを誰かに言ったりなんかしない。
Doesn't even matter.
今夜は僕も今ちょっと混乱してるし。
Wow.
明日改めて話しに行くから。
That was like a Chad move. Just go home, Akito. Closes the door, closes the blinds.
なんでいいんじゃねえかこんなとこに。そこでトールたちが探してっから。
何？
ああ、いや、なんか変わったか、お前。
これが解けたから。
Hell yeah.
言ったらびっくり。
Is what I would say if my curse was broken. But it might be.
トールは喜ぶ。だってわかるでしょ。悔しいのは僕の方なんだ。
うるせえよ。そんなの分かりたくねえんだよ。そんな。
昨日はごめんね。それで一日いろいろ考えた。なんで僕だけが解けちゃったのか当たらなかったけど、これだけは言える。アキト、君のそばにこれから一生居続けることはできない。僕を縛ることは。切り者、裏切り者だ。お前なんてがここから僕から離れたって。でも誰もお前なんか迎え入れたりするもんか。分かってる。言うでこんなに寂しくなった。呪いが解けたってみんなと無条件でつながることのできた絆もなくなった。今さら解けたって壊れる前には戻れない。
もみじくんよね。おはよう。ここって通学路だったの？
道を歩いて行こうと思ったの。
あら、そうなの。
Is he gonna say something to his
だ
mom?
ったのね。意外ちゃった。
娘さんも大きくなった？
うちの子はまだまだ子供休み。家族で旅行するんだけど、今からはしゃいじゃって仕方がないの。
そっか。
もみじくんのお家もご家族でどこかへ行くの？
遠い場所、僕がいない場所の幸せだけどそれらが満たされないと僕が幸せ。そんなことを勝手に決めないで。自由で心細いけど僕のための幸せはまだ未来で僕が来るのを待っているかもしれないだろう。行くよ、旅行。いつか家族と先の未来へ動いていく世界をようやく歩き出すんだ。自分の人生を。君はいつまでここから離れたら戻れる場所がないって、幸せになれないって一番恐れてるのは。うるさいよお前。じゃあそろそろ行くね。
ええ。いってらっしゃい。気をつけて。
It's really sweet. Because that's what parents say to their kids when they leave for school in the morning in Japan.
That's so sad. Like, it's so nice, but it's just so
It
sad
is really sad.
that, like, you know, that's the only time his mom will get to say something like that to him, and she has no idea.
Yeah. What do you think of that one?
Such an interesting episode. Like, the start of it really, like, felt so fresh.
Yeah, this
and
whole
different.
episode, it really felt like the start of a new season.
Yeah. And I almost feel like, I don't know, not like the first 4 episodes weren't good, but it was, I feel like they were very heavy and dealing with a lot of stuff that was set up in the previous season. Like, it felt like...
It felt like more of a conclusion. Well, because season 2 left on such a cliffhanger, And that was more the conclusion to season 2, and this really feels like the start
yeah.
or maybe last couple. Well, even
Like,
you know, I feel like the stuff with Reen and her breaking her curse is a more suitable place to like end off an arc or a season. But it was kind of carried over into this part in order for like the scheduling aspect probably.
And it does that like all of the Reen stuff does fit with this part of the story. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but like this
It's just
this
so
felt
clear
like
that this
new.
felt like a big
And it felt like
reset.
the world was like really opening up and like looking a bit brighter, you know?
Yeah.
That's crazy that Momiji just like in the middle of the, and it's crazy too because we get teased with Haru like slightly fraying the rope, and then it's like, oh, or is it going to be a reveal that it did break? And then it's just like, no, it was Momiji randomly in the dead of night.
It was kind of like Kurno. Kurno just randomly walked out for school one day and was just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, there you go.
Yeah. And then Akito just flies over. And Momiji is just a badass and is just like, go to bed, Akito. I'm sure you're not feeling well. Closes the door. It's
My
like,
honest reaction to that information.
It's so crazy and such like I don't know, just real difference and real growth from his character, and I loved
Literal growth as well. Manifested
super
physically.
dramatic, and how he was able to tell Akito like, yeah, I don't want to stay here with you forever. That's not good or healthy or fun. And I am losing things by losing this like crazy supernatural bond, but it also opens up a million opportunities for new bonds that I can choose for myself. And
it's like the Jews leaving slavery in Egypt. Like they you know are in the middle of in a city in the middle of a desert, so they're enslaved and they don't have any choice, they don't have any freedom, they can't do anything, they're treated like second-class citizens because they literally are. And then they have the opportunity to leave, but then there's kind of a schism where some people are like, what the fuck are we gonna do in the desert, man? So they don't know what they're gonna do, or they don't know what's out there. It's, you know, you're trading like, you know, the devil you know versus the devil you don't, basically. But out there is way more possibility for you know, to be treated fairly and to live a better life and move on to better things. So it's worth the risk.
Yeah. I loved that thing, and like him like walking away from like his like old self and moving on, and then that with his mom at the end, that was just such a nice way to kind of tie it off.
I love how his dad's such a piece of shit. The show can't even show his face.
Yeah.
W Momiji.
As usual, Momiji is a classic W character.
Yeah. If the episode's about Momiji, it's gonna be a good episode.
Yeah, and Kyou is getting a bit of pressure to, you know, act on his feelings for Tohru.
And why isn't he? He's just scared.
Yeah, he also still thinks that he's gonna get locked up.
But if he breaks the, I just wish somebody would tell him. For God's sake, like, nobody's telling this guy that it could happen.
Well, Momiji
No, he didn't. That's the problem. No, Momiji didn't say. He's just like, I broke my curse, is what I would say if
funny,
I broke my curse.
Tohru was like,
what if your curse could break? He's just like, what are you talking about?
It's what I would ask.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why can't somebody just fucking
honestly,
say it?
Such classic Momiji and Tohru. They're both like so like it's so
and
funny.
like the thing with Tohru is it kind of made sense because like if you take it out of the story into real life, it's like she's still kind of inserting herself into the shit that is kind of outside of her jurisdiction as like a person outside of the family, even if they, you know, do care about each other and everything. It's like you can see the boundary that like is very difficult to cross without being out of your element. But Momiji, there's no reason for him not to say it.
Maybe it can only break if you're like unintentionally trying
I'd
to
like to
break
see
it.
somebody say that, because that...
I know, but how they know? But like, I'm just thinking about like Corinna, the two characters that have broken it haven't been like actively doing anything to break it.
What happened was they realized that they have an epiphany, and on the premise that they can live a life outside of this and that it could be better, the acceptance of everything that means, the risks and responsibilities associated with ejecting yourself and excommunicating yourself from this thing, for better or for worse, the acceptance of that, the idea, the knowledge that it could happen, but you need to take that risk and whatever. If somebody told Kyou that it could happen and that he could do it, like it's again, taking it outside of the show. Does he have heterochromia? It's like, this is more tan, this is more green. Anyway, it's just like in real life. It's like, you don't tell somebody don't be depressed. It's you sell them on what living a productive life could do for you.
Maybe that's something to do with, you know, the tohru thing as well. Because it's if he makes the choice, even despite all the risks, despite getting locked up, despite this or that, to like go for it, then like that could break the curse.
But it would help if somebody told him it was a possibility, because he doesn't think it's possible. That's his whole thing. He's like, I don't think it'll never work, right? We know he's going to break the curse. Like, he's not going to be locked. That's not how the story's going to end. It's not going to end with fucking Kyou getting locked up forever. But it's just really frustrating for Momiji, especially from a writing thing, for him to say it like he said it. That's kind of annoying. I'm not going to lie. But whatever, I guess.
Poor Kyou, people keep almost confessing to him the truth and then just don't.
All right, leave, like, subscribe, let's move on. Okay, episode 6. Oh boy, look at that.
I have to say, not the most flattering haircut. Is she staying with him?
本田さんには言わないでほしいって。アキトにももうこれ以上関わり合う怖い。俺も関わらせたくない。そっか。ところでハツハル、イスズは結局止められていたんだよ。猫付きの。そうか。今日の行き着くところだね。
Want a Kyou episode right now.
師匠はあのままイスズを住まわせそうだよな。これ心配なさらずとも。まあ師匠んちが賑やかになるのはいいんじゃねえの。もうすぐお母さんの命日だよね。お墓参り一緒に行ってもいい？もちろんです。土曜日の午前中におーちゃんたちと一緒に行くので。
What a crazy property.
Hit him with that broom. No idea how close.
Very close.
起きるよ、ほっといても。そんなにしゃかり気になんなくたって、もう壊れかけてるんだよ。解放の日はいずれ来るたちは、最後の宴に招かれた十二支だよ。いい加減なこと。
He's telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
何年とか。それではダメです。来るまでには。
How to move your plot along. Just have characters have a secret conversation and have Tohru just show up and just hear all of it.
Oh. That's interesting.
That all the Zodiacs have been alive at once?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Hmm.
何
Shigure woke up and just decided, you know what, I'll just be honest.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He's like, I'm gonna keep
Ren doesn't know
secrets.
shit. I'm fucking her, and the curse is gonna break, and Kureno is already broken. Why not? Why not? Well, why? But if you
like,
want
it
it to
doesn't
break, then why not? You're not?
I would be.
Shigure, you don't need to drop all of it at one time. You could just not lie and keep things secret for your whole life, and then just, be honest throughout, rather than dropping a fucking nuke on Tohru.
トールさん、荷物はもうこれでしまいかい？
気配が消えていくのがわかる。ついこの時のように、そこに座って笑うお母さんがいたはずなのに、消えて、なくなっていく。
行こう。
これからはいつだって、どんな時だって一番いい。胸に思うのはお母さんであり続けようと思い続けていれば、いつまでも色あせることはないと信じた。思い出も約束もいつも一緒。そう信じなければここでかわいそうだったから。なのに、ダメなのに、消えてしまう。
どうした？そんな顔して。
どうしたら
そういう時はどうもしないんだよ。多分。あとはそうだな。
I think the same place that her and Yuki were in episode 1.
Yeah, there's been a lot of important scenes here.
ここにいたい。自分が手放すのが何なのかを知ってるのかもしれないから。
覚えてるよ。そのみかん色。京子さんじゃなくてトールさん。じいさんは何してんの？こんなとこで。いや、何してんの？は？大丈夫かよ？今、迎えを待ってるところな。京子さんの墓参りに来てくれたのかい？ありがとうね。変わりはないのかい？じいさん。
It's going to be really traumatic for her, I think.
それって、ちょっと悪主義じゃね？つなぎ止めたかったんだ。どんな形でもいいから、京子さんに示したかった。でないとあの子は、あのまま。
That's so sad.
なんでトールさんが知らねえけど。あれはどうもね、勝也の真似をしてるつもりらしいんだ。勝也のそういらんこと言ったんだ。勝也にいらんごとくの 子供じゃないのか。何もなりゃしない。ってね。それを相手になら何を言ったってバカだね。子供は大人。分かっているのにね。師範、私いないことにしてください。お邪魔しております。
That's not nice.
That's so sad.
She was just a little tyke too. Who's standing behind the veneer?
そんな単純なことじゃないですね。どんな顔、そんなすぐに割り切れないし。顔、絶対歪むもん。絶対負けた気持ちになるもん。自分をに。
今日を一人の人間として道場でも哀れみで
何の用で来たんだ。あ、はい。変な形で別れたままご無沙汰してしまったので。なんで今日。
She's always loved the cat.
先代の猫つき身の回りの世界死に水も取られた。なぜあなたが猫つきにそこまで。あまりにもかわいそうでしょ。その精神は美しいものかもしれない。
That's really messed
Is
up.
that that old lady that's just a total bitch? What kind of a twist would that be?
韓国で欲深い気持ちは同情なんでしょうか。だって私12歳とかそんなの嫌いです。本当の気持ち隠して。
What?
私はお母さんを一番に思っていた。私は評価をただ何からも相馬からもだけない。評価
She just burst the fucking.
お母さんもそこへ行くの。だってずっと元気がないの。してくれないの。お父さんに似てないからがっかりしてるの。どこへも行かない。
その後に京子さんが長い時間家を空けてしまう。
それからだよ。あの子が。
言葉の先にようやくたどり着いた。
Did she go back to being like a biker gang lady?
させなきゃいけなくて心配だって言うから。その時のトールの姿そのものだとしたら寂しがってた。どんな顔してた？あんま覚えてないって前に言ってたけど。
そうですね。でも話し方はとても似ているそうなんです。でも似てるってお母さんも。
そう嬉しかったろうな。
嘘って似てないから口真似をしているだけで。私は本当は何を思っていました。覚えているのにちゃんと優しかったことも確かに覚えているのに、それなのに
自分を責めるその姿は愚かで愛しいんだろう。そんなこと分かってたよ、きっと。お前のそれでも支えになってたよ。
そうでしょうか。
知らん。
突然こたれたこと
いいんだ、いくらでも言え。幻滅なんかしない。謝らないからね。借り合ったの。自分の夢とか願いとことができる人がいいね。できるかな。
With who? There's no characters left.
嘘じゃないもん。託せるもん。バカみたい。そういうとこ。私のお父さんです。
I love that she has the pictures in the back of the other picture.
らしいよ。
What?
Whoa.
We're really not gonna see her dad.
しまっておいたのに。許さないから。
Wait, what?
許さないから。
In the ending, it's cracked? It must have been, I mean, that's like Tohru saying she puts her mom first in her mind, and then she dropped the picture and it cracked to help Kyou in the moment. But I wonder, do you think that means that Hatori did erase his memory and he just forgot and then had the trigger in that moment?
I think he just was
Or just he
suppressing
actually
it.
just
Like,
suppressed it
yeah.
himself, and Hatori's power once again is underutilized in the story, despite being a perfect reason for it to be used.
She always reminds me of Mikasa there.
Really?
Yeah.
そうだよ。空っぽだ。
Crapoda.
What an episode.
Once again, what an episode.
It was so sad. We were just saying, like, the other day off camera, how we like really missed when the show focused on Kyoko and Tohru like grieving and
Moving on, like, her side
Yeah.
of shit and her being it feels like for like most of season 2 and, you know, for the last long time, Tohru has been really on the back burner as far as her whole thing. It's been mostly about the curse and all this weird shit.
and other people and Tohru just kind of being like a facilitator or just like a witness
Yeah.
to some of the things that are going on. So I really, really loved this episode and how it kind of brought it back to some of the earlier times where we actually get more of what Tohru was thinking and feeling and how she's like dealing with just kind of all the bad things in her life and, you know, struggling to move on when good it's like she is almost in her own like curse in a way with her mom of you know, she put like an imaginary curse on herself of like, well, my mom's the most important person in my life and I can't I'm not going to change that, so now it feels like a huge betrayal to love somebody else, even though it's not really a betrayal and you can have both. And, you know, just because she loves Kyou now doesn't mean that she is forgetting about her mom or, like, moving on and there's not room enough for both of them. But because she, like, put like, a very firm, like, she drew a very deep line beyond, about that. Like, you know, this is, like, the one thing that I can really, really love. And so now she's very conflicted, and it's really sad. It's really hard to watch because it's it's understandable why she feels that way. But it's all kind of fake, you know? Like, her loving Kyou doesn't mean that she doesn't love her mom anymore, and that her mom wasn't important to her and will always be important to her.
And I guess it all comes back to kind of early on. What the original theory that I had was that, like, Kyou was actually, like, related to Kyoko in some way, or like a reincarnation of Kyoko or something. And you know, in a way, he kind of is. Like, he's kind of their names and their hair color and all that stuff. It's not an accident. It's like he is sort of taking that spot in her life and giving her that love that you know that is missing since her mom died and stuff like that. But it's learning to accept that as well. So it's not just about, like, it kind of does add a whole other dimension to how, like, this whole time, ever since sometime in season 2 when they were on the Kyoto trip, and it was like, oh, I don't know, I'm afraid. They were both, like, walking away from each other, and they were like, I'm afraid of what'll happen or whatever. And Kyou is, like, dealing with his whole curse thing, but Tohru is just like, what is she afraid of? That he won't like her back or something? Like, what is it? But it's this kind of colors that a lot more deeply with her conflict as far as that goes. You know.
And I feel like in hindsight, I think, like, a lot of those moments, like, after seeing this, and I feel like this kind of thing was possibly hinted at earlier as well.
I think it was, yeah.
But this is, like, the real, like, full deep dive into that.
Yeah.
And also it's Tohru admitting that to herself.
Yes, that's a big part of it.
She obviously admitted it to Rin over at the house. That's like, you know, and then it just makes her feel worse. And I do kind of like that element, which is also something that I feel like we haven't really gotten in a while, of Tohru feeling like everyone sees Tohru and thinks that she's, like, the best person ever, but she feels like she's kind of a shitty person because, you know, she is always talking about the curse, and she does want that, but over time it's kind of evolved that what she really wants is to be with Kyou and all of that stuff. It's like, yeah, she wants to help her friends, but also all of that is, like, tied up within her relationship with Kyou.
It's like Yuki and her journeys are very similar. I think that's maybe why they were a lot closer earlier on, is because their struggles are very similar. They want kind of similar things, and they are in a similar place in their life. And their journey and their arc, it's kind of the same thing, of where Yuki was just kind of like, is it okay for me to, like, put myself first or whatever? And Tohru's kind of has the exact same thing. So that kind of can explain why they might have felt like, I don't know if Tohru was actually attracted to Yuki like that earlier on, and it kind of waned or shifted focus over to Kyou, or, you know, it would make sense why Yuki would identify with her so much. Because, we knew that before as well, but it's like having an episode focus on that, you can kind of connect those thoughts, because that's exactly what Yuki was saying to Kakeru. Like, you know, or maybe he was thinking it to himself. It was like with I think it was shortly before his thing with his mom, the parent-teacher conference, like, or around that time when he was there was like a multiple episodes kind of more focused on his development and stuff like that. It's a very similar thing here, and I wonder if it's something that the author kind of feels a lot. I imagine it is, because it's kind of a reoccurring thing through many characters, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Of, like, is it really okay for me to, and kind of the whole story is about that, if you really think about it, like, is it okay for me to be selfish, selfishly, when it's not selfish, it's just living your life, but, like, the whole idea, and I imagine it's kind of a Japanese conflict as well, being that, like, oh, is it okay to, like, put my goals in life and everything first, despite my family and my whole community and everything, and all this pressure, and my parents, you know, sacrificing so much for me, or, you know, giving me all these opportunities. Is it okay for me to, like, choose to do what I want despite all this shit? Like, it's probably a pretty relatable thing for many people around the world, I imagine, but I think that there's something kind of quintessentially Japanese about that type of thing, and I imagine the author probably thinks about that kind of thing a lot with the way the story has gone. And I liked this whole like this whole Mormon fucking this Mormon embrace here with the fucking sheet. Like, what is this? Or no, it's the Hasidic Jew. It's the Hasidic Jew. They put a sheet and they cut a hole in the genital region, and the wife is covered in a sheet, and the guy comes in. You don't know about that?
No.
It's like a traditional, Jewish, like hard, like Hasidic Jew, like not just Jewish people, but like
I've never heard of
hardcore. That, you know, whatever that's, I don't know, a sect or denomination of Judaism. They it's a traditional sexual practice to preserve the, you know, the purity of the female person. You know, you never heard about that?
I've never heard.
I don't know what it's called, but it's a real thing, and there's like sheets with like little ports cut into them. For specifically, at least I think that's what it is. It's either I don't think it's Amish. I don't think that it's anything like that. I don't think it might be Mormon, but I'm pretty sure it's Hasidic Jewish.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of like Mormon cult documentaries, and I've never heard about that.
Yeah. Okay, and then there's all this crazy shit at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about this. I'll never forgive you. I'm fairly certain that she did not say that to Kyou.
What if she did? That would be hardcore.
That would be fucking insane. But I feel like she didn't. I feel like that's him
projecting.
Like imagining that's what she would think about him, you know?
Yeah.
I noticed the dragon there is kind of funny looking.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a crazy episode. And I loved all that stuff with Tohru and like her dad, and then getting like the like Kyou getting like all three sides of the story there with like Kyoko told him about it, and her grandpa told, and I loved that of the grandpa calling Tohru the wrong name on purpose.
That reveal's kind of crazy.
That is like seriously one of the most unexpected reveals, like, of
you
all
think
anime.
He's
honestly,
like senile and too old. Like, oh, father, it's Tohru. It's not Kyoko. Kyoko's
stop calling
dead.
her dead mom's name. It's really disrespectful.
Yeah. He's like, oh, Kyoko-san. Oh, I've missed you so much.
It's so sad,
but it turns out it was
that
on
he's
purpose.
doing it on purpose, because obviously the rest of that family like did not like Kyoko, and you know didn't tell stories about her, talk about her, or do anything to kind of keep her memory alive in any way. Instead,
at her like wake was just like, oh, what is this child? Ugh! I bet it's not even Katsuya's. That whore Kyoko probably was sleeping around when she was in her biker gang. This bitch. Who left this thing here? Get out of my sight. Like, what is that? Who does that, man?
There's so
Who are
many.
these people?
But I seriously, I cannot even express how much I love that reveal, and like how just like the grandpa just like does what he can, and because if he keeps confusing her for Kyoko, then that means that he really remembers Kyoko and she's really in his mind.
Mm-hmm. And to kind of remind her that she's like her mom, you know?
Yeah.
She carries her memory. Very sweet.
That's so sad, and the whole thing of how Tohru, you know, did all the talking stuff, and then when she tells Kyou, like, oh yeah, well, people say that I talk like my dad, and then she just admits that
She's like, no,
that it's all fake, and she did that on purpose because she wanted to be like him. And all the stuff of, like, she was just so scared that her mom was gonna leave her too.
Yeah, because I bet Kyoko was, like, suicidal. You know?
That's so sad
like,
to me.
That's kind of the vibe that I got when she was, like, alone. She, like, was sick all the time. Like, or, like, acting like she was sick all the time. She left. You know? Like,
and it's so
she
sad,
kind of went rogue
too,
for a bit.
that, like, that was Toru's biggest fear, so she, like, did so much to stop that from happening, and then it happened anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
This is a really sad episode.
It was very sad. It's okay.
It was just so sad, and little Toru waiting by the door, like, falling asleep.
Mm-hmm.
I was so sad.
Mm-hmm.
And it just shows, like, even when she's, like, 5 years old, she's just so concerned about other people. Yeah.
Nice one. Anything else you want to say?
No.
Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you guys next week. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.